So, we are shown a world surrounded by a storm of fire at the start of the film. This is because many asteroids have collided with the Earth from the sky. Because of them, the storm of fire is so dangerous that it does not take a minute to finish a whole country. This storm started from North Atlantic, one by one, wrapping all the countries in fire. The last to come out was Australia. It will take 12 hours for this storm to reach there. But even the people of Australia have no way to save their lives. At most, these people can only fulfill their last wish at this time. Similarly, we meet a lad named James, who lives in Australia. The main character of our movie, who was with his wife Zoe at this time. He also knows that these people are going to die soon. For a while, he and Zoe spend together. After which James decides to go to a party and enjoy the last hours of his life. Although Zoe wanted James to stay with her at this time. Before dying, they spent some time near the beach from school. But James wanted to go to the party anyway, because his girlfriend was waiting for him there. Even after hearing about James' girlfriend, Zoe doesn't say anything to him because what difference does it make now? Soon they are going to die. Zoe once again says this and tries to stop him. That James, I am pregnant. James is shocked for a while, but still leaves his car and goes away. On the way, it is seen that James was drinking a lot. Maybe because he was not able to accept the situation yet. Not only him, but everyone was in this state. Most people were not able to understand this situation. And those who understood, they wanted to do their will in the last moments of their lives. In such a situation, aggressive people, who did not do a lot of things due to fear of the police and law, they all came out on the streets. Everyone remembered their revenge. The one who wanted to end here, was ending everyone here. Even the children's corpses were lying on the ground. Families are running to ask for help. Houses are being burnt. People are forced to end their children and dies. Because it has become difficult for them to spend 12 hours of their lives in chaos. They don't want to see any other trouble before they die. Seeing all this, James keeps driving his car. But when he goes a little further, he finds the road closed by a car. Before he chooses another way, a man sits in his car and puts a knife on his neck. James says to him, "If you want this car, you can take it. But leave me." But this man says, "You keep driving the car." That crazy man was following a man in front of him. As soon as the man was seen, this man got out of the car and mercilessly ended the man with a knife. I don't know what revenge he had to take from this man. James knew that after that, that crazy man would also end James. To save his life, he leaves his car and runs away from here. That man was also following him like crazy. But James, while running, hides under a car and saves his life. The car he was hiding under, he could have run through it. But unfortunately, this car was locked. Suddenly he saw that a van had stopped in front of him. Two men took a girl out of it. They must have kidnapped her. And they were forcibly taking her inside the house. To abuse her. The girl was screaming at him. James had nothing to do with this girl. He wanted to run away from here with the van in front of him. But the crying and screaming of the child did not let him move forward. Now he picks up a hammer from their van and goes inside the house. He had ended the first man with this hammer. But it was not easy to end the second man. This bodybuilder man, on the contrary, had suppressed James. Before he could end James by strangling him with a stick. James, using his brain, not only gets himself released, but also saves the girl by hitting the head of the man with the hammer in his hand. The girl's name was Rose. He tells Rose, "Sit in the van quickly. We have to run away from here. This place is not safe." But this girl was afraid to sit in this van. She did not trust James anymore. Then James explains to her that if she stays here for a long time, then I cannot take any guarantee from you. Hearing this, the girl sits in the van and they both leave from here. Rose tells that she and her dad were going to her aunt's house, where their whole family was going to gather together. They had promised that they would spend their last moments together. But on the way, the fuel of her dad's car ran out. When her dad went to get fuel, these bad people kidnapped him. Rose tells James, "Please take me to my aunt's house. My dad told me that even if we separate from each other, then you come there. We want to spend our last moments together." James wanted to help this girl, but he could not do it. Because his aunt's house was in the other corner of the city. But where James had to go for himself. The party he was going to go to was in the other part of the city. Even more important was that there was not so much fuel in the car. That he would have taken this girl to his aunt's house safely, and would have gone to the party himself. He had to find a way in between. That's why he asks Rose, Where did your dad's car break down? He hoped that he would definitely find this girl's dad there, to whom he would hand over the girl and go to the party himself. But unfortunately, even after saying yes, he did not find Rose's dad. James gets angry and tells this girl, "Look girl, I can't take you with me. But yes, I have a way. This is where my sister lives. She also has 3 daughters. You will be safe there and you will like it there. I will leave you there." After saying yes to Rose, he takes her there. But now he did not like anything here either, because his house was unlocked and no one came there to knock on the door. When he went to the stairs, there was water coming from above. He felt something wrong. As soon as he went up, he found out that his sister and her husband had died. And before committing death, he had also ended all 3 of his daughters and buried them outside the house. James was completely broken at this time. Now losing control of himself, he quickly comes out of the house, and taking his sister's car, he was leaving from here. That's when Rose also came and sat in his car. And he didn't say anything. On the way, he saw that a police officer had come to the library with a family in his car. James thinks why not give Rose to this police officer. So he also goes inside the library with Rose. But as soon as he went there, he heard that this police officer had also come here to end himself along with his family. He requests James, "Please do us a favor. You end us." But James was not able to do this. Upon James's refusal, this police officer says, "Okay, so just give me this little favor. Tell me that whatever I am going to do, you have forgiven me for it." James also says this and goes out of the library with Rose. After which this police officer ends himself along with his entire family. James now had no other way. So he comes to the party with Rose. This party was being held inside the secure gates. He got the entry because the host of the party was his friend. And his friend's sister was actually James's girlfriend. There was also no good atmosphere in the party. People were dancing like crazy in intoxication, as if they were forgetting the sorrow of death. Many people had died due to overdose of intoxication. In all this environment, Rose was feeling very uncomfortable. That's why he holds James's hand tightly. And then a girl comes behind him. This girl was calling Rose by another name. This girl's mind is not in good condition. It seems that maybe his daughter has gone missing, and she was looking for her daughter in Rose. Somehow James gets this girl to leave Rose and takes her ahead. And finally he finds his girlfriend in the pool. Now they leave Rose in the pool and go to the room. Here James's girlfriend wanted to have fun. But James had no such mood. His mood was very bad. He was very depressed, because he had just seen so many deaths, including his sister's death. He tells all this to his girlfriend. But his girlfriend doesn't pay attention to all this, and says, "Why are you telling me all this? Look, this is the last time in life, and I don't want to hear such things." James felt bad after seeing his cold behavior, and he realized for the first time that when Zoe had given him such a big news, and when James ignored him, then he must have felt bad like this. Then when James's mood is off for a long time, then this girl takes James to a bunker. There was a lot of food in some beds in this bunker. This girl says, "Look James, we will live in this bunker. This bunker has food for a year, and all the vegetables that a person needs to live. Now even if the world is destroyed, we will hide in this bunker." This girl was probably crazy. James tells her, "Be in your senses. This firestorm is coming. It cannot be saved so easily. Even if you make a bunker thousands of meters below the ground, this firestorm will still end you." Hearing this from James's mouth, this girl also got scared. And then this girl's brother also came here. We found out that this girl was afraid of death. That's why her brother lied to his sister, so that before the world ends, at least she doesn't panic. And now because James told this girl the whole truth, that's why this girl's brother, that is, James's friend, he is after her to end her, to save his life. James ran out. As soon as he went out, he quickly found Rose, with whom he wanted to get out of here as soon as possible. But she was vomiting in that girl's hand. The girl thought she was her daughter. Actually, Sarah had given her drugs, because of which Rose's condition was like this. James scolds this girl Sarah a lot here, and he starts running after Rose. That this girl is after him to take Rose. And now his friend comes in front of him. Poor James was stuck. There was no way out. James's friend had a gun in his hand, with which he would end James in a minute. But James's friend had a gun in his hand. James's girlfriend took it. After that she pointed the gun at James. She put her hand on the trigger. She pressed the trigger. And the bullet went off. But fortunately, James was not lucky. Because she had not shot James. She had shot Sarah standing behind. Who wanted to stop Rose here. Now the girl says to James, "Go, you are free." Because now she too had accepted her death somewhere. Without wasting time, James comes out with Rose. Sitting in his car. He wanted to go from here quickly. But the roads were blocked from all sides. Now he is walking. That's why he walks ahead. On the way, he finds a taxi. In which James goes to his mother's house. At the last moment, James's mother was happy to see him here. She hoped that James would definitely come to meet her. Although this was not included in James's plan. Even if fate brought James here. But his mother's hope did not break. James tells his mother all the stories here. That how he is trying to get this girl to his aunt's house. His mother says, "If you are working for this girl in the last time of your life, then you are doing very well. God will definitely reward you for this." Here his mother also asks him about his sister. On which James lies to her. That no, I did not meet her. He did not want his mother to get a big trauma in the last time. After meeting his mother, he goes to his aunt's house to leave Rose. And when he reaches there, he does not see anyone. In the nearby jungle, James sees the corpses of many people. And one of those corpses was also Rose's father. Seeing this, he broke down. He did not have the courage to give this news to Rose. He told Rose that everyone died with your dad. After hearing this news, Rose also goes crazy. She did not believe James's words either. She herself wanted to see everything with her own eyes. But James stops her here. And then in a cloth, covering his dad's corpse, brings it in front of him. Because he did not want such a small girl to see so many dead people. Seeing her dad die, Rose was also very sad. She started crying. And seeing all this, James also started getting sad. James says to himself, "Your dad is dead. Come on, you come with me now." But Rose says, "No, I will stay with my dad. Because I had promised him that we will be together at the last moment." Hearing this from this girl, tears come to James's eyes. He remembers that time when Zoe was holding her. James was only thinking that this girl is better than her. Who wants to live with her loved ones? Wants to keep her promise. James also wanted to do one last good thing like her. He wanted to go back to Zoe. That's why he leaves this girl here. But now his eyes were full of tears. Finally he reached his wife Zoe. Zoe was upset with him. She did not want to meet him. But here James managed to convince her somehow. Zoe was standing on the beach. They hug each other. And suddenly there was a fire on them. A bright elephant was seen from a distance. And it was found that the storm of fire has now come to them too. Which in the next second, he had taken her in his arms. They both died. And this movie ends here by showing them. Thank you.